Hello everyone, I'm Mike Fortune, and yes, this is Hamilton Life. Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. We got a big one coming up with the Elena Pompanaleo and regarding a BMW scholarship, all part of communications at Villa Charities, discussing Villa Charities as an organization, of course, the scholarship program. We continue on with Shelby Moore, sports therapy, going to get the groins and the elbows all looked after. Hamilton Day is coming up. Greg Dennett from the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce is here, along with Sherry Hayes, a Hamilton author who's completed and published her first children's storybook, all about local endangered species. And Tijuana Tom's Hot Sauce is going to be here trying out his latest fiery recipe. And of course, our man Paul Copcutt is here from the Vibe. But first, it's Larissa Fenn with the Hamilton-Oshawa Port Authority. Trade policies and tariffs, of course, are affecting local Hamilton industries, especially steel. And what are the impacts? Well, let's find out. Larissa, nice to see you today. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a while. So yeah, let's start off with the tariffs, the trade policies, and what is happening or not happening with Hamilton-Oshawa Port Authority right now.
Well, they are interesting times. As they say, lots of really unprecedented uncertainty around the kinds of commodities that are coming and going through the port. Steel being the one that is really most severely impacted. We are seeing steel making commodities sort of flat this year over year versus last year, but the imports of finished steel that goes into both into steel processing as well as into manufacturing, that's where we're seeing our volumes off about 2/3.
And is that slowing down day-to-day productivity? Does HOPA have to consider thinking about laying off people at any point? Where are we looking at that?
We are certainly seeing an impact in some of our cargo handling terminals, and we're seeing them pivot to other kinds of commodities. But I think one of the places where we see the greatest impact is sort of our customers, those manufacturing facilities, manufacturers that are connected especially to the automotive sector. We're really seeing that impact throughout the community. We know that the City of Hamilton did a study, and more than half of businesses in the community in the City of Hamilton expect to have some kind of tariff impact. So we are certainly seeing that in the supply chain.
The trickle-down effect has started to definitely happen. But with all of that going on, you also have two big construction projects happening down here in Hamilton. Why don't you touch base on those? What's the status of both of them right now?
Yeah, both of those construction projects are related to the agri-food sector, which is one of those bright lights and reasons for optimism in Hamilton. The first one being the new Sucrocan sugar refinery. That's a $140 million investment in the biggest sugar refinery in Canada, and it will be completed. It's headed towards completion around the new year, so that is really good news. And then the other one is about $125 million expansion of Parrish and Heimbecker's footprint on Pier 10. They have a grain export facility there, as well as now the third round of expansions to their flour milling facility, and both of those are connected to a really robust food manufacturing sector in Hamilton, about $1.3 billion in food processing and food manufacturing. It's a major driver of jobs.
That is remarkable to hear that number here in Steel City, to hear that side of the world is doing so well in our great city. Any reason for that, Larissa?
Well, I think people manufacturers, food processors want to be where their customers and where their suppliers are, and Hamilton has both of those things. So we're proud at the port to be part of those supply chains, but of course Hamilton is in the center of the consumer market of Southern Ontario, and it's a really great place to grow a food processing business.
We also know in our great city, housing is a big issue, and of course the commodities that are coming and going as well. Where are we sitting in regards to helping our Hamilton housing right now coming through HOPA?
Yeah, people might not think about how, the port's connection to housing, but we know what an important thing it is for Canada to be building more houses for people right now. And the role the port plays is delivering the commodities that are essential to that construction process and getting them to the job sites efficiently. So cement, asphalt, structural steel, and gypsum is a big one that we have seen more than 300,000 metric tons come through the port so far this season. It goes into wallboard, and it's probably in everyone's house watching at home, and that's one of those things where if we can ensure the efficiency of the delivery of those projects, then it has an effect on the cost of housing throughout the supply chain.
I find that remarkable, all the little things that you're so fortunate you get to see it on a day-to-day basis. What happens and what's going on. You probably look at things a lot differently than the normal person out there because you see it all kind of come in through the port and you understand where it's all kind of neat. You also have a proposal, I understand, to activate a new rail terminal. Talk to us about the benefits of this rail terminal. Where exactly is it?
So our new rail terminal is on what people would understand to be the footprint of the former Stelco property. We call it Pier 18, and it's a rail terminal, the purpose of which is to bring goods on rails closer to their origins and destinations in the Hamilton region. So businesses that use rail for their within their supply chain, making sure that those commodities can be moved by rail more often and reduce the amount of trucks on the highway. It's a complete rail terminal, so all of the infrastructure is built and ready to go and has the impact of reducing congestion on the highways, reducing greenhouse gases, and reducing costs for businesses. And so it is better than a shovel-ready project. It is ready to go, and really the only thing we are waiting for is the approval of the regulator, Canada Border Services Agency, to give us our license to sort of flip the switch.
When can we kind of hope to see that switch flipped, if you will?
Well, we don't have definitive timing, but
Okay.
we are certainly in regular conversation with CBSA and hope that they will see the benefits, the economic benefits of putting some urgency behind this facility.
Is this a first when it comes to ports, or do other ports have something similar like this?
Other ports have rail terminals on site, and the interface between the different modes of transportation as a port is something that really gives its value and allows shippers to choose the right mode of transportation at the right time to keep the costs for Canadian businesses down and make sure that we are globally competitive.
Yeah, and every day it's getting tougher and tougher, it seems like, but anytime you can pivot and find a way to save a little bit, it does help everyone, so that's wonderful. You also have a new partnership. I know you're very excited about this with Sault Ste. Marie. Why don't you talk to us about the Soo and how all this has kind of come together?
We are very excited about our partnership with Sault Ste. Marie. HOPA, as well as the City of Sault Ste. Marie, have signed a memorandum of understanding to develop a new port facility in the City of Sault Ste. Marie. It's an aspiration that the city has had for a long time. But the way we are coming at it as HOPA and manager of our port network is really building that north-south supply chain that will allow us to make the most of the kinds of commodities that are available in the north. So steel, obviously, there are really great connections between our two steel cities. Forest and lumber products, manufacturing products, agri-food, and those kinds, and minerals and mining, of course, the other big one, making sure that we are in Canada really our own best customer and delivering products to the manufacturing sector where we have a lot of robust capacity in Southern Ontario, as well as the big consumer markets that exist in Southern Ontario.
And I guess if tariffs have taught us anything, it is to not be as dependent on the outside world. Let's focus on what we can do here internally. So this relationship with Sault Ste. Marie, hopefully this will be a springboard for other great partnerships, both internally in our great country, but also externally. And maybe there are some other countries we can potentially work with and partner with.
Yeah, absolutely. And ports are really well positioned, and I think a key instrument of diversifying our trade internationally. for the kinds of commodities that come out of places like Sault Ste. Marie, but also all over Ontario and Canada, making sure that we have the import and export capacity that's embedded in port infrastructure to be able to forge those partnerships overseas. I think we're in a place where we really do have to do more of that to diversify our markets and make sure that we are finding new relationships with other overseas customers.
New relationships are definitely key, and I know your job is a busy one, and it can change on a moment's notice anytime during the day. We appreciate you making your way down here to the Cable 14 studios, Larissa.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Continue all the good work down at HOPA there.
Thanks so much.
After the break, Hamilton, we are going to be speaking about an upcoming and a well-deserved recipient regarding the Village Charities and their scholarship. Coming up right after this.